Megan, what did you see when you went to the Louvre?
The Mona Lisa, the Sphinx, and a bunch of naked statues.
Welcome to this
And they say I'm a Francophile. At least they know I know where France is.
episode of the Mazas Musings podcast. And we are talking today, yes, about France. And let me kind of set the stage here for you a little bit. Eileen, Meghan, and I just got back from a dream vacation, and it had nothing to do, well, I won't say nothing to do with Disney, but it wasn't a Disney-focused trip. We spent nearly 2 weeks in Europe. We spent several days in Paris and then made our way over to Ireland and spent about a week moving around different parts of Ireland. And we wanted to tell you all about this trip and just how great it was and kind of walk you through what our experiences were, what we saw, all that kind of good stuff. And there was just so much that we are breaking this up over several episodes. And we decided that we are going to start at the very beginning with Paris. Now, we did make a stop at Disneyland Paris, but we have a lot of thoughts about that. And we felt that there was enough there for its own episode. So this episode is going to be focused solely on our experiences in Paris. So I hope that you enjoy it. I got a lot of great tips, including from Rachel, who was on the podcast before, that really helped us navigate this trip. And yeah, thanks to everybody. And hopefully people listen and can get some ideas or just a little bit more perspective if they're planning a similar kind of trip. So we are going to kick things off first. Of course, it's been a couple of weeks, but Megan is back with another Cuckoo Bananas Joke of the Week.
And now it's time for Megan's
Cuckoo Bananas Joke.
Hey, did you start it without me again?
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
Well, we haven't done a podcast in a while.
2 weeks.
Yeah, because we were on vacation, which we're going to talk about in just a minute.
Okay,
But do you have a joke for today?
Where did the pencil go on vacation?
I don't know. Where did the pencil go on vacation?
Pennsylvania. We didn't go to Pennsylvania, we went to Paris, but I thought it would be funny because it was a pencil going on vacation. School is starting soon, so that's the pencil part, and we went on vacation, that's the vacation part.
Excellent. All right. Say goodnight.
Good night. Good night.
All right. And another thing that we haven't had in a while is a Mazza's Mickey Minute. Now, the rest of this episode is pretty long, so I'm just going to keep this short.
Donald, wake up! It's showtime! Don't forget the orchestra!
Ah, there you are. And just in time.
Mom says there's even more magical stuff now.
For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness. And here we go!
Okay, so almost immediately after we got back from our trip was, of course, D23, the ultimate Disney fan experience, or whatever the super long name is they have for this thing that used to be known as the D23 Expo. And there were a fair amount of announcements and, updates, but really I feel like there were a lot more updates in this edition of D23 than there were new announcements, any real new information. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of these things, and these are mostly related to the parks and a little bit of cruise. So basically experiences. I'm not getting into a lot of the entertainment here. All right. So First, the first part of Monstropolis is due to open in 2027 at Hollywood Studios. That will not include the door coaster. The door coaster is going to take longer, so that will not be operational when they first open Monstropolis. And we've seen more concept art and such that's been leaked out about that. So I think that some of it is even on the Disney Parks blog, so you can go check that out there. Now, there are going to be 2 attractions at the Villains Land, and it's going to be called Villains Land. One of them is going to be a coaster, and the other is going to be a dark ride. Let's see, what else? They're going to bring back, and not a lot was said about this, but they're going to bring back the Dreamfinder and Figment, sort of a reimagination of that ride in Epcot. The Yeti, they spent a lot of effort to announce that they are going to they're going to fix a broken audio animatronic in the Yeti. It's been about 20 years since the Yeti has been the Disco Yeti, and they're going to finally fix it so it'll be back to its former glory. Also in Animal Kingdom, the Encanto themed ride will be called Antonio's Fiesta de Encanto. At California Adventure, the Avengers Infinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab will open in 2028. Harrison Ford was there. Well, he zoomed in or whatever, cameoed in to say that he was the actual model for the audio animatronics in the new Indiana Jones ride at Animal Kingdom. And we got a bit of a look into what the mythical creature that he's looking for is going to be for that. Buzz Lightyear and Woody are going to be on the stern of the Disney Believe, which is the newest one in the Wish class. So that's pretty cool. Also, Tinkerbell's going to be on the front of the ship. Forgive my lack of knowledge of nautical terms. And Moana's statue is going to be in the Grand Hall in that atrium there. So that's very cool. The Cars Land attraction at Magic Kingdom, the Ridge Run Rally and Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin Along, those are the names of those 2 attractions. We saw some models that were on the floor. You can find those pretty much anywhere online at this point too. And it actually looks pretty great. It looks more expansive than the original concept art kind of made it look like. Let's see. And the Carousel of Progress will reopen in late spring of 2027. And it will have some new voices that will be accompanying them with that. And Spaceship Earth is going to get a refurb, and it seems more than just a brightening. They are going to broaden the vision of the ride and have it more about human connection, which it's always been kind of about human connection, but they're going to be moving it into the present and beyond. So that is a quick kind of rapid fire look at some of the experience and parks news from D23. Obviously, you can find more. I'm hoping that we'll be able to talk more about it on a future episode, but we've got a lot to talk about right now. So I guess, the only other thing that I can say is obviously a lot of information. Your head might be spinning a little bit, and that can be the exact same way when you are trying to book your vacation. And that's why you should be using We Do Travel Right, because We Do Travel Right will take all of that hassle and all that stress away. And they do it with one-on-one service of an agent. And that agent has a team behind them helping you get all of the things that are right for your family and your trip and right for your budget. And speaking of budget, when you use We Do Travel Right, you don't pay anything extra. That's right. It's all free. And that's because Disney, Universal, cruise lines, all-inclusives, they all build the use of an agent into their pricing already. So you're paying for the agent, whether you're using one or not. So doesn't it just make sense to use the agent? So if you are ready to get your next magical vacation started today, head to WeDoTravelRight.com/Maza. That's WeDoTravelRight.com/MAZA. And like they say, life is short, so take the trip.
Well, I can't do any more damage around this popsicle stand.
So long, partner.
See you real soon.
Well, We Do Travel Right is all about life being short and making sure you make the most of it by taking that trip. And that was really a big part of this trip that we're going to tell you about right now. So let's get into it. All right. I am here with Eileen and Megan, and we are talking about
Paris!
Yes.
Not Disneyland, Paris.
Right. So we just got back from an almost 2-week long vacation
To Europe.
Thank you. And on that trip, we went, to Paris.
And Ireland.
That's right. And we made a few stops in Ireland.
But Scout will talk about it at a later date.
All right.
Yes. If everybody would please just stop interrupting so that I can introduce what's going on here.
What? I was helping.
Thank you for helping. All right, we're off to a roaring start already. So, yes, because this was such a long trip and we packed so much in, we decided that we're going to kind of break this up into separate episodes. And we're going to start with
Paris.
With Paris, yes. Now, part of our trip to Paris included Disneyland Paris, but we did enough there and had enough to talk about that we decided, well, we are going to talk about Disneyland Paris
In a separate episode.
Thank you. Yes, in a separate episode. So, with all of that said, let's get into this week's episode. And so we'll start at the very beginning. We had a long flight.
Yes.
And we flew overnight. We left on Saturday night.
Yeah, out of Boston.
And we ended up landing in Paris.
At about 10:30 Paris time.
What about our time?
It was like 4 a.m. our time or something like that. But
I slept only 2 hours on the plane.
yes, it was a very long night, a very long flight. At least any longer than
you rhymed.
longer than anything else we've done before. So it was very tiring. But
the flight back was longer.
No, it was not. The flight back was not longer. You were just more conscious for it.
But really, the flight was not, in terms of flights, we didn't have any delays. There was not much turbulence.
What's turbulence?
The bumps. And we landed when we were expecting to, and really getting out of the airport there, I thought was pretty easy. Like going through customs and everything to go into Paris. I thought that was pretty easy.
All pretty smooth. So once we got to Paris, we had to drive from the airport to our hotel, which we just used. Now,
and I dozed off, I think.
You dozed off in the car. Now, I will say, we were even prepared. We had been warned about, people trying to pick you up at the airport.
Forgot about that.
And so we were prepared for that. Basically, there are people who are not part of the normal taxi service who will offer you rides. And probably we weren't as on guard as maybe we would have been, given that we hadn't slept and we were just a little tired and a little disoriented because we were in a new airport and everything like that. But we did end up, somebody did end up approaching us as we were approaching the taxi service. And he was, dressed in a suit and tie and everything and said, yeah, come with me.
And we started following him for a while.
And we did. And we realized that we were getting away from where the taxis were. And at that point, we paused and we were just like, we're just going to talk and figure out where we're going, etc. And kind of brushed him off. The one thing that was a tip off for me was he wasn't carrying any kind of identification that said that he was a member of the airport. He didn't work for the airport or anything.
Like he didn't have a tag on him.
Right, exactly. And I actually asked him, directly if he worked at the airport, and he kind of gave me a roundabout answer. At that point, that's when we paused. And then we backtracked and found somebody who worked at the airport and said, this is where the taxi is, right? And they said, yep. So they brought us a taxi right over, and we were good from there.
Yep.
So, So
Can I just say one thing first that I forgot to mention about the plane ride?
Absolutely.
As we were like approaching Paris, like we could see the Eiffel Tower from the plane.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Was just like, for me, I was so completely freaked out about this plane ride, to the point where I was freaking out to friends, just asking everyone. Like, I didn't even pack myself until like a couple hours before we had to leave for the airport.
And that was freaking me out.
I know. But I was so freaked out about this that I just like mentally couldn't do it. And I freaked out for nothing. Because basically as soon as we like got to France and like you could see, I was fine. But it took a long time to get to France. And then seeing the Eiffel Tower, it was like all the stresses just like were gone.
Poof, magic, they're gone.
It's amazing how vacations do that.
But yeah, just seeing like from the plane, this like icon that I've wanted to see my entire life was like, okay, we're good.
Change that.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so we ended up going to the hotel, and we were expecting to just like store our bags.
Check with them. Yeah, check our bag or store our bags there.
And because we were there well before the
4 o'clock
anticipated check-in time, and so we were staying in the 9th arrondissement, which is, if you're unfamiliar, Paris is kind of broken up into neighborhoods and
arrondissements.
Yeah, and the 9th is fairly central. It's not.
It's not Eiffel Tower.
It's not tourist centric. It's not tourist centric, but it's pretty close to a lot of that stuff. It's a stone's throw from the opera.
Oh yeah, we were kind of near the opera. It was like a 10 to 15 minute walk.
I would even say 5 to 10. It was very
much closer. It was about a 20-minute walk to the Louvre from where we were. But so
if we took the metro, that is.
Well, no, we didn't take the metro.
What?
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's a little further. But so we got to the hotel, and he was just like, "Hey, we'll have it ready in about 5 minutes." 5 minutes was really more like 15, but
it saved all of us a lot of
exactly. So we were able to get into the room immediately, kind of reset everything, and then we were just like, "All right, let's go."
Let's go to Paris.
We didn't have any set plans for this day because we didn't want to book anything or anything like that in case there were those delays or what have you. And Megan
wants to talk about the hotel.
Okay.
They spoiled us.
They spoiled us? How did they spoil us?
They gave me my own room.
Yes, our hotel room there did have a separate separate sleeping space for Megan, which was nice.
So she felt very spoiled by that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to mention how there were Madeleines in the room when we got there.
Yes.
Madeline.
Yeah.
Which is like a cookie cake that is
so yummy.
She had it for the first time at Bible camp. Megan having her own special space to sleep, which was nice for us because we're used to, while Megan's going to sleep,
we stay up a little longer and we
drink beer in the hall.
Thank you. Yeah, we usually have a drink in the hall. Yeah, we usually sit in the hall and wait for Megan to fall asleep, which sometimes elicits more responses than others. But having her own space there was very nice. So then we end up going out to explore Paris.
Let's talk about exploring.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to talk about how she
loved her room.
She loved
her room. Got spoiled.
And
they gave me a bookshelf and a desk.
Yes, which I'm sure you used. Yeah, it's the little things in life.
She actually did decorate the bookshelf.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
So we explored. We decided that we were going to head in the direction of the Eiffel Tower. We didn't book anything for that day or anything. It was just solely exploring along the way. Now, for that, we did take the metro.
I was about to say, we did a really good job. I mean, really, most of it was Chris, but we did a really good job of navigating the metro. We got there, we went down. We had to we did not have the app for what we bought the metro cards.
Well, we couldn't because remember
service.
So So yeah, we won't go into this a lot, but we did have some complications. We had bought through our carrier the international plan, but it was not working. Something did not go right when we were buying that, or when they were processing.
Yeah,
it wasn't on our end.
But so we couldn't use the app,
right?
Even though we had like prepped for that. So anyway, and it was really easy to do. I've heard like horror stories about trying to navigate the metro. Now, I could see how you'd get lost there if you're not familiar with it, but
there were maps, so it was easier.
Yeah, you have to be able to read the map and know where you're headed, but also like the card and all that stuff was really easy to navigate.
Yeah, I think like the card is not dissimilar from like the Charlie card system that
we're
you'd
very
see in
familiar
Boston.
with.
With
Charlie card.
You wouldn't know anything about that. But and truthfully, we made sure, especially because we didn't have our data to use our phones, we made sure that we knew which direction we were supposed to be heading when we got to the metro. So we had all that kind of information already, which made it much easier. So even if you're used to dealing with public transportation, doing that little bit of advanced research can be such a help.
Can be poof.
So we got off.
Worry's gone. Poof.
We got off at a metro stop on the other side of the Seine from the Eiffel Tower.
Yep. And that's where this first picture that we're looking at here
that I can't stop looking at.
Yeah, it's.
Why don't you share what it is?
It's me in front of a flame from the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that was a gift. I can't remember when. It was on the plaque, but I don't remember exactly when. But it was gifted back to France because France, of course, had gifted us the
Statue of Liberty.
So that was a cool little thing that we didn't expect to see right off the bat.
And that was kind of a fun thing, like just not that, but just when you find those random things that you like. We knew we were going to see the Eiffel Tower, but then the different things you kind of see along the way.
Whoa!
And we'll
if
talk.
you zoom in on the pic, if you look closely, you can see a little bit of the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Yeah, yep. And one thing that I think we'll talk about this probably a little bit more, but we took the metro to go places, but we took the metro more to go to areas, and then we walked around those areas. So we would have never found this if it was just like, okay, let's go to the absolute closest stop to the
Eiffel Tower.
To the Eiffel Tower. So so kind of having that ability to explore, we still allowed ourselves to do that a little bit. So we did get all the way to the area where the Eiffel Tower was. Walked around the neighborhoods and stuff like that.
And
by the Eiffel Tower, not at the Eiffel Tower, but near another picture, like around that area was a house covered in plants. Remember?
Oh yeah, there was a few houses there that were all covered in plants and vines, and one of them we did see on our way there, which was again really cool to see, and a little different than we have here. That's after we had lunch. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah. So this one here, this picture we're looking at right now was when we were looking for lunch.
And that's when we saw the mossy house.
Yes.
Some of our wandering around definitely was like in search of food. We definitely didn't have any food places planned in advance. And that was something else that was stressing me out because I was just like, we got to find food that not only like that she'll eat and that will accommodate Chris's allergy and everything like that, which was not an issue at all. People had definitely like led me to believe that a shellfish allergy would be more complicated over there. I think,
and we weren't always in the absolute most tourist-driven areas, but I think that we were in areas where they understood that that was something that they had to accommodate more, as opposed to we weren't totally off the beaten trail.
Yeah, which would have been probably fun to eat at something like that. But I think we did okay, and the food was really great. Really, almost everywhere we ate.
At one of the spots, I took 1,000 pictures of the menu because it had a teddy bear on it.
That's right. Yeah, that was That was our other.
It was like a cafe that I had pasta with a baguette.
Yeah, I mean, and that was literally, we found lunch in search of a baguette. But we learned that by the time we were looking for a baguette,
which was afternoon at this point.
Yeah. Pretty much all the like little bakeries and boulangeries had sold out of them. So
because
the next day we solved that problem.
Because the bread has to be fresh that day or you can't sell it.
So anyway, with that being said, we had a great little lunch. We then went back to like get up nice and close to the Eiffel Tower, where Megan can share what happened.
I had a macaron by the Eiffel Tower. And by macaron, I mean like this big.
How big?
This big.
Well, you need to tell
Bigger
people.
Bigger than my eyeball.
It was definitely one of the largest macarons I've seen. Now,
it was like bigger than my eyeball, like
okay.
2 inches and 2 inches.
Prior to this trip, all Megan had said was that she had a few goals, but one of her big things that she told everyone was that she wanted to have a baguette under the Eiffel Tower. Now, we did make that come true on our last day in Paris. We did get a baguette and ate it under the Eiffel Tower, but we couldn't find that baguette the first day, so a macaron was a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah.
Like bigger than my eyeball, bigger than my ear, bigger than my nose.
Okay, it was big. And so after we
boat ride,
we explored the garden area a little bit in front of the Eiffel Tower. We found the free public bathroom.
Anyway, we don't need to go into that. No, it was just so long because after every person, it does this like 20-second self clean, and so the door closes and then and then it opens again. And I certainly appreciate the cleanliness of it, but it was definitely. And then Megan and I couldn't get the door to shut, and we learned how to do it after that.
A lot of it is automated, so they kept pressing things, and the door would start to shut and then open again. And then it was kind of funny to watch from a distance.
But anyway, we made it anyway.
Now it beats what I had, which was a wall.
That's true. Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
We won't get into many details there, but let's just say the accommodations for the ladies were a bit more glamorous than.
It wasn't just the ladies; it was anyone who wanted to sit down.
That's true. But anyway, so after we did our exploration there, we found our way. We're heading actually back towards the metro
heading back
stop.
Toward the metro, and we found a Seine riverboat cruise.
Yep.
And again, we knew we had to make our way toward the hotel, but we didn't necessarily have to go to the hotel. And Megan, by this point, was really exhausted. But we had a nice little boat ride along the river and saw some really cool sights. Do you remember any of the ones we saw along the river?
Louvre?
Yep, we went along the Louvre. We saw
Notre-Dame.
A whole bunch of bridges.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
One of the bridges had a garden gnome hanging from a swing, and another one sitting on the bridge.
So that was a nice
Yeah, and we could see Musée d'Orsay from there. And
what's Musée d'Orsay?
We didn't go there, but it's
another
another
museum.
Oh.
Used to be a train station.
Oh.
And, do you remember the one? It was on the other side, so maybe you didn't see it very well, but it had two big clocks on either side of the building.
There was one that used to be a train station and also used to be a jail. Or is it now a train station?
I don't know. There was a lot on there, and a lot of it definitely...
There's something that used to be a train station that was now a jail, or used to be a jail and now a train station.
And I think that was it's now the military
the
museum, and it's also where no, not the school.
Oh, that was a different spot.
Military museum, and also where Napoleon's.
Okay, yeah, a lot blended together, especially they were mixing between English and French on the cruise, which was fine, but just meant there was a lot. Plus, we were exhausted.
Yeah, we were just running on adrenaline at that point. I hadn't even really had caffeine, so it was just the adrenaline. I think I had one cup of coffee from the in the hotel lobby, which, by the way, the coffee in the machine in the hotel lobby is better than anything that I can get around here. At least reasonably priced.
It had nice cold water too.
Yeah.
So we did that. What did we do for dinner that night?
That was the night that I was on the phone. And we
Okay.
just went to a little restaurant.
That was
Like
next to
on the
hotel,
corner.
right?
On the
Right-
corner
pretty
of
much
the
right next to the hotel.
Yeah.
on the corner, but still.
So again, yeah, at that point and it was pretty late by the time we actually got back.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
just
Mommy was on there
all
a
just
lot.
fell asleep and knew we also had to be up early the next day
Because of the Louvre?
because yes.
Yep.
So
So
Wait,
what?
never mind.
Oh, yes, we had champagne while we were on the.
Oop.
And we also found this really cool sign that was actually from like the.
Remember?
It had like the FIFA thing in front of it for some reason.
I do not remember that at all.
But yes.
But clearly I'm there.
FIFA.
Yeah. We reached a point where I think our memories just kind of shut off because, well, I didn't remember until I saw the photo. We're looking at a photo of this.
FIFA.
But yes, it's a Paris sign that's with the Eiffel Tower in the background. And so the next morning, we had
I had a
fine
baguette
breakfast.
for breakfast.
And so the one thing, hold on just a sec. One thing that I found was like I was trying to like do research on places to get breakfast, like Googling and things like that. And really, it's hard to try and find something that way, which was also why we did some wandering to find food generally, because like a lot of these places, they don't have websites and things like that. So you're relying a lot if you're doing that on like TripAdvisor and things like that. So
now you did get an address for this place.
Well, right. I ended up finding an address, but I didn't
know what they have.
Right. I just knew that, and because it's August, a lot of places shut down. They go on vacation in August. So some of the things that were more immediately in our vicinity around our hotel were not open. So we found this place called La Madeleine.
Magdalene.
Well, yeah. And it was a boulangerie that it was actually only about 5 minutes from our hotel. But
we went there twice, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So we found that because we were walking to the Louvre that day. And so we stopped and we picked up breakfast there. And Megan?
I don't think that we went there twice. I think we went to the other place twice.
What other place? There was no other place.
The one next door?
Yeah.
No, because they didn't have baguettes next door.
Right.
Yeah, but I had a cinnamon roll.
I think we're mixed because you got a baguette that you also ate under the Eiffel Tower, remember?
Yes, we got the baguette from the Eiffel Tower at the same place. Yep.
I got a giant baguette.
Yes, so this baguette that Megan got was about the size of her.
Not quite, but it was very large. And you described it as what? You said it tasted like what?
Pizza crust.
And I got what she said. Like it was a nice like.
It had a crunch on the outside, but it was like
nice and airy on the inside.
Definitely, if you have not had a baguette in Paris, go do it because they put American baguettes to shame. So, I mean, a lot of the food in Paris, and we also got some like croissants and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was so nice to like just have this like fresh, delicious breakfast every day.
I loved it.
Well, and while we were walking to, and now I can't remember the name. We're on our way to the Louvre, and I cannot remember the name of this place now.
It's okay. We found something.
It's like a mall. It's like a big fancy mall with like a giant pillar in the middle. I don't know what the pillar is though.
Yeah, it had all these like fancy shops. If you're a fan of
shopping
and expensive shopping, this was a place for you.
We said our niece would have loved it.
Haley.
Place Vendôme.
Okay.
So it's in the middle is this giant pillar that is
huge.
It commemorates Napoleon, Emperor Napoleon. So it was actually pretty cool. It was funny because the
It's
buildings around it, like these buildings are old, kind
Yes.
of old style French buildings, but
I
they've got
thought it
these
was the-
designer stores in them,
Yeah.
and they're all surrounding this giant
pillar.
historical pillar. Of course, there are cars driving around and everything. So
Which
it
is
was
kind of this but a nice way to preserve the old while bringing in the new.
So that was also, we stopped there, just to take a couple pictures while we were on our way to the Louvre, where we had around
Baguette.
No. We had a 10:30 time slot, which we were hoping to go earlier, but by the time we bought the tickets, that was the earliest. And really, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, and people had said that 10:30 is the start of the peak time.
Yes.
So had we waited longer, it would have been much more of a...
And we got to the Louvre probably about 45 minutes early.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of time to, take pictures with the pyramid and the arch on the way to the gardens over there. And so that was really good because especially later in the day, it got really hot. So we didn't really want to spend the time outside. If we had not done that after, we would have had to come back out and take pictures with the pyramid and everything like that after. So it was nice that we got there earlier to do it. And then we got in line just after 10. They kind of have, if you're in the 10:30 time slot, get in this line. If you're in the 11, get in this line.
Right.
So they don't let you in early, but definitely shoot if you are shoot to be there at least a half hour early to get into that line.
And if you've been following, the news with what the weather's been like in Europe, and especially in Paris and some other inland areas, it's been quite hot.
Yeah.
When we were there, it was hot, but it was not those oppressive temperatures.
It wasn't the hundreds.
We were very lucky in that regard.
Our hottest day was the Louvre day, and it was about 95, 96.
Yeah.
But the others didn't get above 90. And for us, summer, it wasn't awful.
So once we got into the Louvre...
Does Megan want to say something about outside at first?
I have a question. Do you have the picture of Mommy touching the top of the pyramid?
Oh, well, this was some of the exploration that we did beforehand. Megan was taking pictures of the outside of the building and the arch that takes you to the Tuileries. So no, it does not look like I have that on this slideshow.
That's okay.
But yes, Megan did do some picture taking and some video taking and such. And then when we got inside, Megan, what did you see when you went to the Louvre?
The Mona Lisa, the Sphinx, and a bunch of naked statues.
Now, we had done some talking to Megan and looking up some information about the Louvre in advance because, an 8-year-old going to the art museum, it might not exactly be top of the list. So we wanted her to know what she was going to be seeing.
I was really excited for the Sphinx.
But you had also read A Magic Treehouse about the Mona Lisa, so you knew about that. And if I recall, you wanted to see Mona Lisa and Sphinx, and those were your top 2 things you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So obviously, everyone in the world wants to see Mona Lisa. So we went right to Mona.
Yeah.
And
we were
Mona Lisa.
Before Mona Lisa, we saw the Wedding Feast at Cana, which is this huge painting.
Tell us about it, Megan.
Wait, which one is it? Is it in the same room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's the biggest painting in the Louvre, and it's in the same room as the Mona Lisa, and it's got puppies.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor, and when you're looking for the Mona Lisa, turn around. And really, it's in its own right, it's a very breathtaking.
And we had read about that in advance, right? That Megan and I had looked up some information and told us, make sure you turn around and look at that, right?
So, yes, Megan.
We were looking everywhere for the Sphinx, and we almost left without it, but then, thanks to me, we went down some stairs and found the Sphinx.
Yes, so we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm noticing Megan was taking a picture here of the Mona Lisa, which is something she was insistent on doing, which is great. I mean, we all took a picture of the Mona Lisa. I thought it was really cool because, you know, we didn't have an awful wait to get up to her either. I've seen like videos of like
people at the
we
back.
were up to like we got in the room and we were up to her within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was not a long wait for us.
I think that was the benefit of
an earlier time.
Right.
We also knew where we were headed.
Yeah.
We went to the Mona Lisa first, still looking for the Sphinx.
Yeah. So it was really great because the attendant there, they didn't want people loitering in the front. It was basically you go, you see it, you get your picture, and then make room for the next people. And they were really kind of like.
And I think, you know, if you've got someone there that's talking about it and actively engaged in it, like if you and I were like, oh, look at this, they wouldn't have made us move. Right. But it's the people who are taking the selfies that they're like, okay, you got your selfie now.
Right. Yeah. So, but one of the attendants made sure
I got
Meghan
my picture.
got her picture before.
And as we were leaving, he even said, "Did you get your picture?" So that was nice to also see, like, that he's paying attention to what's happening. It was,
right. They're basically there to make sure that the influencers and such aren't gumming everything up for everybody, and you know that nobody is doing anything that is nonsense. You know, but those who are actually really trying to appreciate it, they do. Yeah. They want to keep it moving because they don't want it getting backed up, but they're not being jerks about it.
No, either, it was great.
So yes, we did, and we explored some other parts of the Louvre. We saw this was the coronation of Napoleon, which was one of the other big ones that we saw. This one was cool too because it actually had little diagrams on the sides that told you who different people in the picture were. Yes, Megan.
Daddy's phone was trying to on the people. I focus on the people.
Right. Yeah. It kept seeing the faces and kept trying to focus on the people while I was taking the picture. But yeah, we also found Winged Victory, and we found the Mona Lisa. The Venus de Milo. There were some, because it was so hot, some of the sun-facing sides of the building, they had shut down some of those wings, especially on the higher levels.
Including one of them that had like Egyptian stuff labeled on it. And we were just like, ugh.
We weren't sure if we were going to be able to find the Sphinx because we thought it might be behind one of those closed doors that we weren't able to get to. But the Sphinx is actually...
underground.
Underground. It's
the Louvre used to be a castle, so it's in the moat part. It's in the part that used to be the moat.
Yeah. Before we got to the Sphinx, though, we did find the room where the crown jewels used to be in, which was very impressive. Even though the jewels are no longer there, thanks to some thieves.
Was amazing.
It's all gold.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And then we eventually found the Sphinx.
Sphinx.
And Megan was very excited. It was we took plenty of pictures of the Sphinx. I don't think that the pictures really do justice to what the size.
No, they make it look very small, and I know
it is humongous.
Yeah.
We showed some people that they're like, oh, and really, you got to say that about all the pictures.
Like the Mona Lisa looks smaller than it is.
Yeah, actually, it's bigger in real life than in the pictures. Like I always think it's like just this tiny, but of course we can't get up close to that, so that's part of why it probably looks smaller. Right. But the Sphinx was quite large.
Yeah,
it was humongous, and I love the Sphinx.
Yeah,
I would love Sphinx because it's half lion and half person. I love kitties, and the lion is a kitty, so that's why I love the Sphinx.
All right. And across from that was actually a pretty cool area because, as Megan was mentioning, the Louvre was a castle, and so like the medieval part of it was.
Am I going the wrong way?
Yes,
you are. I'm sorry. The medieval part of it was at one point, it had a moat, so you can actually go down into the place where the moat used to be. And
it was nice and cool down there too.
It was. That's one. Now, not all of the Louvre is air conditioned, but there are some places that are, and that's one of them. So, yes, Megan.
Okay. Not related to inside the Louvre in the gardens. I did the sailboat.
Okay,
We'll
so
get to that.
let's
Yep.
head out because
So we're
otherwise
heading out.
we're gonna have
Yes.
a 2-hour podcast.
So,
We're
so
only
yes,
at
we
noon on
headed
that.
out to the Tuileries Gardens, and we just kind of walked along. There's a great view. You can see straight down to Place de la Concorde, and beyond that to Arc de Triomphe. So that was great. And then when you got to the end, there was a
little pond.
We'll call it a pond. It's a man-made pond, but while you were there, you could rent for, it was like €6 or something like that.
I could have
sailboats.
done it myself.
And the sailboats are just they're
Like wooden
wind,
push boats.
they're wooden push boats, and they're wind powered. So basically, you'd send the boat off, and you
Like you had this stick, and on the boat was a little thing. It was curved on one part of it, and you would put the stick in the curved part, and you would push it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and Megan did a great job with her stick.
And yeah, but the fun part was too, you didn't know where it was going. You would think it was, I remember the very first time Megan and I did it, it was just like, Megan did it and we thought we knew where we were headed.
Nuh-uh.
And then it changed direction on us and we're like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's wind powered like Daddy said.
And of course it was 95 degrees at this point in time and we're running all over the pond to try and find it, but it was still fun.
Mary Kate asked if we were swimming to go get it.
We were not swimming to go get it.
Oh, before that, there's no picture for it.
Okay.
But we got lunch over near there, and that's when we had that pizza that was delicious.
Yes.
I don't know what the place is called, but there was a pizza place near the garden.
It's right near the Joan of Arc statue.
Yeah.
Yes. If you find a golden Joan of Arc statue, I want to say that like the name of the like street is also, or the court,
but
the square or whatever. But it's literally, you're
Was
sitting
that the
there
cafe?
when you were sitting outside. You're sitting there. There's a Joan of Arc statue in front of you, and just beyond that is the Louvre. So it was very cool from a setting
of, like,
perspective.
we're in a cool
But
spot.
then their pizzas were excellent as well.
And we ordered way more than we needed, but
The cheese was different, and that's the only part of the pizza that wasn't my favorite. I liked the pizza.
You ate plenty of that pizza.
You
I don't
ate
think
4
that you had-
pieces
I
of
don't
that
think
pizza.
that you had
Yeah,
any
I was
problems with those
hungry.
pizza.
well, I mean, I don't
All right.
doubt that either, but
Notre-Dame.
Yes. Yeah. Then we moved on to our next stop, which was Notre-Dame.
and was it it was on the way home from Notre Dame. We had the gelato.
Yes.
Gelato.
The ice cream.
That's what I was pointing at. Still keep it.
So, so then we went to Notre Dame where Megan had another mission. Do you remember what that mission was?
Oh, yes. Taking pictures of every single stained glass window.
And I think she pretty much did. And now, obviously, Notre Dame was
Huge.
well, yes, but it was heavily damaged in the fire.
Under construction.
So
There was
still some restoration work that was being done on the far side, on the back side. So we weren't able to go to see it all the way around, but we were able to go inside, and it's still incredibly impressive. From the standpoint of like just how huge it is, how beautiful it is. I guess looking at the pictures now, my mother had been asking, people say it looks a lot like cleaner. Well, I guess it does now that it's been,
not refurbished, but fixed up.
I mean, the last time I had seen it was 20 years ago, maybe
20 what?
For 30 years ago. And so, I don't have a keen memory of to what it looked like, but it definitely has a very clean look now.
Like close to the edge of the picture, isn't that where they keep the holy water?
It could be. We had a lot of holy water in a lot of churches in Europe too, so that was.
We were very holy, and they've restored the rose windows. They're still as beautiful as ever. Megan was sure to get of course, when she was getting her pictures of all of the stained glass windows, get pictures of those as well.
I couldn't get the ones that were on the second floor and stuff, in the clock tower and stuff.
Yeah,
we didn't go up in the tower because we didn't have tickets to the tour, and that's how you get up there. But we saw plenty while we were there, so that was really nice. And then when we were leaving, the bells started ringing, so that was
that's right.
Yeah. So then we went and got our gelato.
And...
I remember something too.
Yeah.
The Mister.
The Mister, that's right.
Not the Mrs.
Not the Mrs. The Mister. Yeah, so in addition to having, water, like there are places to fill water basically all over Paris for free.
That was great.
There were areas that this one specifically had a button that you could press and it would let out mist. So there were it was a hot day. And given
that it was 95 degrees, that Mister
and it was popular not only with us but with a lot of other people, not just kids too. Adults were definitely getting
I took Daddy's sunglasses so that I didn't have to close my eyes. I used them as goggles.
Yeah, I loved how my sunglasses had spots all over them. And we found a little merry-go-rounds over near the town hall, right?
Yeah,
or the city hall.
In the city hall area, which was kind of near the Mister too.
The one that I'm on is Buttercup.
Well, she named them.
Yeah.
Or is it Misty? I'm not sure.
And then we ended up. This was our dinner night when we went to dinner over near.
We went to the opera, or dinner near the opera.
Yeah, we actually had an upstairs. We were inside. And we had an upstairs next to a window that looked out on the opera, which is getting some restoration work. So the front facade was covered up. And so, we weren't able to see its full, glory,
which is
so to
crazy
speak.
Because I didn't realize that, like, the part that we saw, I wouldn't
The
have...
side.
Like, I'm like, I didn't even know that wasn't, like, the main entrance or whatever. It's...
But yeah, so and this opera is the one that the Phantom of the Opera is based off. Well, yeah, and so we did take some pictures of that. We know that it's Granny's one of Granny's favorites. So it was great.
Yes, when we told Granny where we were staying, Granny loves to research like hotels, and will just spend her time randomly looking up hotels and houses and stuff like that. For no travel purposes, but she went in and looked it up immediately, and she's like, "You're a 5-minute walk from the opera house that the Phantom of the Opera was based on." I'm like, "Okay, we'll make sure we go see it for you."
What's Phantom of the Opera?
It's a musical that Granny likes.
Oh, and also, we went to Daddy at the opera.
Okay.
As being an opera singer.
So yeah, and then so we're skipping over our Disneyland Paris day, which was we're doing
a separate pod.
Yes, we'll do a separate episode about that. But we had sandwiched kind of Disneyland Paris in between,
so that we'd have one more day after. And on this particular day, we had one plan, and we weren't able to get Eiffel Tower to the top tickets from the regular Eiffel Tower site.
We tried in advance,
but we were just too late.
Yeah, and we were too late. So
and we could have gone day of, and they say that you can go and often get tickets day of. We opted to do a tour instead, because we didn't want to take the risk and have to stand in line for multiple hours, which we've heard can happen. Now, when we were there, it didn't look like that would have happened, but we didn't want to take that risk and spend 2 hours of our day standing in line.
Right.
So anyway, we did an Eiffel Tower tour through the Viator website, and we did a few tours
through Viator,
which had been
on
recommended.
this trip, but not necessarily in Paris.
Which was recommended by a cousin of mine, and we were overall pretty happy with it. So anyway, this particular tour that we did was a lift to the second floor and the top. There's some that, you can do the lift to, or climb to the second floor. That was not for us.
No.
So they took us to a specific entrance. They rode up with us to the second floor. Along the way, we learned some fun facts about the Eiffel Tower. And
one of the things that I thought was really interesting, it makes a lot of sense when you hear it, but when they painted every 7 years, which that was something I knew. I didn't know that it had to be brush painted.
Oh, yes, that was insane.
Not spray painted.
Right.
Like you had to do it by hands.
Yep.
Right.
That to me, and it makes all the sense in the world. You don't want paint spraying around,
Yeah.
you know, but
Like you could get it on the glass and then you would have to clean it up, which would make it longer.
you could get it all over Paris
Yeah.
depending how high you are.
So it was, yeah, some interesting things that we definitely learned along there. But I mean, and we like to learn those those fun facts and stuff like that. But for us, the tour was definitely to get up to the top.
So yes, we did have the opportunity to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, which, you know, of course has the glass windows and everything, which was...
Well, at the very top, it's not glass windows, it's just fencing.
The elevator has glass windows.
Oh! I'm sorry.
So, you know, it's a little bit trippy going up.
And we had to be brave because Megan was a little nervous, and the whole time Chris and I are also totally freaking out. But we all did it, and it was. And then amazing.
Once you get to the top, honestly, it's it's just like being at the top of any other building.
I was stressed out because it was a pretty windy day.
Yeah.
But we didn't feel it up. I mean, we felt the breeze at the top, but I've been up I went in the St. Louis Arch before, and when you're up there, you can feel it swaying.
Yeah.
So I was really a little anxious about being up at the top, and it was fine.
Now, one thing that Megan found interesting, and we all found interesting, but Megan also took a video of it, was...
The Office?
Yeah.
Can you tell us?
They still had, I forget his name. The person who built the Eiffel Tower, who designed the Eiffel Tower. Gustav Eiffel. They still kept his office, and they put statues of Gustav, someone else, and another person.
And who was the other person?
I don't remember. Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
And then a lady. I'm not sure.
And how did you know about that in advance?
I didn't know about just Thomas Edison. I knew about two more, which was probably fictional.
Okay, but how did you know about it?
Because of Magic Treehouse?
Yes, she had read it in a book. There's a Magic Treehouse series that she enjoys.
And yes, in your book there were other people up there, and it's possible that the other people were there too, but maybe Edison was the most famous of the people that were up there. Or maybe he went up there the most.
Or what if it was another famous meeting?
Right, that wasn't in your book.
Because there was a lady there too. There wasn't a lady in the other thing.
But so it was cool because then it could relate to something she had read about.
What if the lady was Annie?
Oh,
Annie's a character in the book for those listening. So yeah, Megan, we all took some pictures and some videos. Mommy and I had some champagne at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
On the picture.
Megan got some
macarons on the chocolate macaron. It had the design of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, there was. Of course, you can't just buy a single macaron. You buy a collector's pack. So you got a cute little box to keep to a little tin. So that is here now.
Pretty cool.
It's got the Eiffel Tower on it. Sacré-Cœur.
Yep. Yes, exactly. Then we made our way.
I'm guessing we got lunch in between.
So that was when we got lunch, when Megan was saying that she took pictures of the menu.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Was that the spot where you also had your overconfidence in your French?
No, that was the pizza place.
Oh, that was the pizza place. So we need to rewind a little bit because this is a fun story.
Okay. So at the pizza place that I was telling you guys about, which the place with the teddy bear that Megan was taking pictures, that was fun, and that was definitely one of the more touristy places that we ate at. But still a fun little spot. Now the pizza place, definitely you know, we were attempting to speak French, and we greeted everyone with bonjour. We used our mercies, but Chris definitely had a little more comfort
Doing
with
it.
his ordering and
Especially
stuff like
with the transactional
Oh, yeah,
stuff I
I
could
remember
do. I
that
couldn't carry on
story.
conversation.
So he was trying to get especially me, we were happy with Megan just using her basic manners in French, and she did great. She even, off topic again, got a compliment from the customs worker
yes
at Charles de Gaulle
Yeah.
because she said merci or something like that, and the woman was just so appalled that she
Not appalled, impressed.
impressed that she did that, and just kind of thanked her and said that she was doing a really great job, and she's like, not everyone does that, and was really impressed by Megan. So that was nice, and she did a good job with that. But Chris had ordered a beer, and I was trying, and I was getting a little more comfortable and getting a little more confident with it. And so Chris ordered a beer with the pizza. And just with the most confidence that I had on the trip so far, even more than the bonjours or anything like that, I say, "Dos, s'il vous plaît." And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, no, so then instead of just letting it go, and the guy probably wouldn't have thought twice about it, because dos, what he would not have.
Or he just would have been like, okay, American.
I immediately start saying, no, that's not what I'm supposed to say. So then I made myself just I could have let it slide, could have just let it. Had I just said, "Dos s'il vous plaît," and moved on.
But I realized it.
I realized it, and then tried to talk my way out of it, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know it. So and he just rolled his eyes and was he didn't even really respond. He was just okay.
That actually, so we'll move on in just a second, but while we're back at this restaurant, this was one of the spots where we noticed that there are French police everywhere. There are French police everywhere, and they never seem to be doing anything. we at one point,
and I'm sure they do plenty at times.
I'm sure they do. This is not meant as any disrespect to the French National Police, but we were sitting there, and there were 8 or so officers. At one point, more came, and there were 10.
Say a car pulled up with 6 of them that got out of it,
and we were just is there going to be a motorcade or something?
What's a motorcade?
Just
when someone important drives
is
by.
the king driving by, or
but yeah, so, and we actually asked the guy, and was just hey, is something going on? And he was just just Monday stuff. So, and we saw that on a couple of other occasions where there were these gaggles of police officers that didn't seem to have anything pressing going on, and were happened to be in the same place.
See here,
yeah, around here, until not that long ago in Springfield, there used to be officers out on their own. They don't allow that anymore after something that happened. But so usually you might see 2. So it's it was just a very different kind of thing.
If you see them not doing anything, there's probably 1 or 2.
Yeah. And
just celebrating from their first victory of police.
I don't know what that means, but
so back to.
But anyway, so now we'll fast forward back to yes, Megan.
Sacré-Cœur.
Not Sacré-Cœur, the other one. The restaurant.
Okay.
There were bees everywhere.
Well, yes, it was summertime and we were eating outside, so there were bees.
Yeah, but
it was actually the only spot we had consistent bees.
I think that there were a lot of flowers around that place too. So anyway, and we were a stone's throw from a garden too. So anyway, so then after we did our Eiffel Tower adventure and then got lunch at that place,
we
hopped on the metro and headed to Montmartre,
We might have gone back to but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think we may have stopped to refresh, but we went to Montmartre, and
I thought it was Sacré-Cœur.
well, Sacré-Cœur is the cathedral there. It's in the neighborhood that's called Montmartre.
I wish we went in, but I don't wish we waited in the line. I wish if the line was a lot I wish the line was a lot shorter so that we could go in. Because I want to take pictures of every single stained glass window. I did that in every church on the trip.
Yeah, it was Montmartre was mobbed.
Yes,
there
it was
were
not laid back.
1 million people there,
and I had heard that was a more laid back area.
It
was
not.
No, yeah, the stairs.
There was a merry-go-round.
The stairs in front of Sacré-Cœur were just packed with people. Now, in Montmartre, in that Sacré-Cœur area, offers a really great view of the city. So I think a lot of people go up there for that, in addition to Sacré-Cœur itself.
And I agree, Megan. And had I known just how many churches we were going to end up going into in Ireland too, I probably would have waited in this line to do it, because I think it would have been beautiful inside. But at that time, we were just like, no, it's, we made the choice not to.
Yeah.
Do I now wish we did? Yes. But
it was
we have to go back.
It was like 15 hours long.
No, it wasn't.
3?
It was long.
Like 3 hours?
It was shorter
long?
than Notre-Dame, but it was...
Yeah, it didn't seem to be moving the same. Like the Notre-Dame line moved, at least. This line didn't seem to be moving. It seemed to be growing as we were
And
there.
it did definitely grow.
So we did there. I think Megan mentioned that. Did you mention that there was a train ride, or was that in my head?
She did not say it out loud.
Okay.
I said the merry-go-round.
Right, you said the merry-go-round. There was a merry-go-round that was down in one of the lower levels
Shadow.
there. By the way, if you don't want to climb all the stairs from the base of Montmartre to the...
there's a lift.
There is a lift.
It takes the metro card.
It takes the metro card. It is... Now, it's a very short metro trip, but it's the standard metro fee. So it basically costs one trip.
And we opted to do that. We took the stairs down, but we got up to the top. We saw the church. We took some pictures, and then we were just so overwhelmed by the number of people.
Somebody was overwhelmed.
Well, we didn't really have a plan, and we were just like, "There's so many people here." And Megan points out a little train, and so we opted to get on the train. And it took it's a driving train, not a track train. So it basically took us on like a 30-minute trip around Montmartre. And
so we got to see the neighborhood,
which was really nice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that, I don't remember what it was, but it was very reasonably priced.
We actually ended up getting to drive by Moulin Rouge.
What's Moulin Rouge?
A famous, you wouldn't know it. There's a movie, a musical, a site.
It's more of a grown-up thing.
But it's like a show.
Yeah.
For our purposes, it's a show.
It was not something that was on our agenda, but we ended up seeing it, and it's like, hey, there's something famous that people talk about.
Right. Now we can check that off our list too.
So yeah, and that was. By the way, this was everywhere, but it was very prevalent up in Montmartre. Was the locks on gates and on all kinds of things.
It means forever love, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, and there were actually vendors who were selling locks and such.
We did not buy one.
We did not buy a lock, but it was an interesting aesthetic, especially up against some of the more not ancient stuff, but
City
much
of love.
While we were there, we explored Montmartre a little bit. Eileen got her crepe
that
I wanted to have.
And yes, as Megan mentioned before, there was a merry-go-round there. So they did a merry-go-round with Montmartre in the background, which made for a pretty cool photo on top of everything.
Yeah, it was a very nice, and that was fun. There were a lot of little merry-go-rounds or carousels throughout the city, and something that I was telling someone, I'm like, it wasn't like a big thing, and it wasn't like anything that went like really fancy, but it was something that if we were to see like here, we would stay away from it because we'd be like, that's super sketchy. But there it was.
Whoa.
It was just like what they do.
Yeah.
What?
Mommy's horse was named Sunshine.
Excellent.
Mine was Shadow because it was black.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then the next day we got on a plane. That's the last photo.
Okay.
And then we headed off to our next adventure, which was Ireland, which we're going to do the Disneyland Paris episode.
Next.
And then we'll get into Ireland
We might
a
do
little
it.
bit
But
later.
can I
might do
share
two.
one thing?
From?
Disneyland Paris.
No.
Ireland.
When we got to the airport, we had no problem getting to the airport. It was fine. And really, there were no hitches. But that airport is French.
Yes.
Whereas, for example, when we were in Dublin, that airport was very Americanized. Charles de Gaulle was definitely a French airport where French was the dominant, dominant everywhere.
The language.
The language, yes. No, the written language. So it was a little bit confusing getting around.
Yeah, we had never, outside of getting off of our airplane there, we had not.
And getting off of the airplane there, they pretty much herded us to customs, and we got out. So
it was disorienting. That was absolutely true.
It was definitely and we were fine. We had gotten there earlier than planned. We actually couldn't even check in when we got there.
Right.
But it was a little overwhelming not knowing where we were going.
Megan has something to say.
I think it was this merry-go-round where the horses went like they were actually galloping, except slower.
They kind of rocked back and forth,
really?
which created more of a galloping sensation versus the up and down.
Cool.
Like the up and down, the legs are like that, except it's not like going forward and backward like a horse.
So, we're going to wrap this up.
Aww.
But before we do, the one thing that I'm wondering about is, Megan, what was your favorite part of Paris, not including Disneyland Paris?
Oh,
Because we're going to talk about Disneyland Paris later.
fine.
Do you want us to come back to you? Okay. Mommy, what was your favorite part about Paris?
Can I just give her something to think about
Sure.
while? So if you're having a hard time thinking of your favorite part, if you were to tell someone they could only do one thing in Paris, so think about it kind of like that. Like if you could have only done one thing, what might it have been?
Like for one day.
You're in Paris for 1 hour. What should they do?
One thing that you can do. Now, I will say too, and this was good for our planning, we pretty much only concretely planned
one thing a day.
One thing a day. And then the rest of the day kind of
like
we
the
took as it
Louvre.
came.
Like the
The
Louvre.
Louvre was the one thing that we were doing that day. And the
we
Eiffel
knew
Tower
the
was...
other things we wanted to do. So like the Louvre, we knew that was happening. We knew we wanted to see Notre-Dame. Which day we saw it?
So each day we had our guidepost. We had to be in one place at one time, and then the rest of it was very flexible. So not only depending on what was where, etc., but where we were. If we were tired or we didn't feel like doing one thing and something else was closer or less strenuous, whatever, we left some of that a little bit open. So I think that was a great move on our part, not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but really, and it was something that was...
And I think we would have played that out even if Megan wasn't with us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have booked multiple things a day.
Oh yeah, this was supposed to be a grown-up trip. Then Mommy wanted me to come. Yay!
And I'm really glad.
It
Glad
was
that you came.
so
It was
great
a
with
lot
you.
of fun to have you there. It was also really cool to because we got to see some of the things through your eyes, or more from your perspective, and you pointed some things out to us
that we
might not have noticed. So that it was very cool having you there. So are you ready with your one thing, or
Yes.
Okay.
Go to the Louvre and see the Sphinx.
Okay.
The Sphinx was very cool.
I
What about
love
you,
the
Mom?
Sphinx.
I think I'm gonna go very basic. You have to go to the Eiffel Tower. You can't go to France I mean, I guess you can go to France, but you can't go to Paris and not go to the Eiffel Tower. And I would even argue that if it is your first time, you have to go up to the top.
Yeah, what
because
if
that
you're
really-
afraid of heights?
I'm afraid of heights. And
because that was something that I was very nervous about that too. And I do not have any regrets about going up
I
to
don't
the top.
like the elevator.
And
I would
thanks for
regret the glass
interrupting me.
windows.
And I really honestly, I took French in high school. And I started taking French in 7th grade. And so some of the basic French that you learn at the beginning is
Bonjour, merci.
well, yes, but you learn about the Eiffel Tower, and not about it, but you might learn how to say I want to go to the Eiffel Tower, or so we kind of at least are very basic 7th
To
grade.
Eiffel.
The 7th grade French was very basic, but we learned about the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, things like that. So to actually be there and see it in real life, and something that I've kind of thought about since I was 12 years old, to see it and have it also have it live up to its expectations. And you picture something in your head sometimes and it doesn't always meet that. This surpassed it. It was I couldn't have imagined how amazing it would have been.
So this is going to sound kind of cheesy. But I loved the Eiffel Tower. I loved going to the Louvre. I loved all of it. But I don't know, and I know that that this is a cheesy kind of tourist thing that they do, and it's 100% a tourist trap. But Meghan sailing that boat in the Tuileries Gardens, with the Louvre one way,
Arc de
Place
Triomphe
de
the other
Concorde
way.
and Arc de Triomphe the other way.
Wait,
It was just it was such a cool it was just such a cool experience to see her basically just immersed in this place that was just completely
history all around,
for lack of a better term, completely foreign. Things like that do not exist here, and just seeing her there and seeing her thrive there was just so cool, you know, and so natural. She was so natural
there.
So while all of the things were really cool, yes, having Meghan there, and of course having you there was great. But having Meghan there brought an entirely different perspective that I thought was very cool.
And she was, I mean, and we've said this about her before, she's an amazing traveler, but she belonged there. I want to go back to Paris again. She has to go back to Paris again.
I'm already planning our next trip. We're going in 5 years.
We would
hope, yeah.
All right,
go ahead. So what do you have?
We forgot about the torch.
No, we didn't. Oh, the Olympic torch.
Yes.
Yes, we saw from the 2024 Olympics in the Tuileries Gardens. They are this summer. They're lighting the torch again. So
it was lit.
It was, but this summer it's lit again.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool too. So now we have a couple former Olympic sites checked off.
Oh, speaking of Olympics too, we also from the Eiffel Tower.
I was about to say that. Some training centers.
Yeah,
right?
There was a training center.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we saw the soccer field at first?
Oh, yeah. And then I noticed the hidden Mickeys in the rings. I thought they were just hidden Mickeys.
But they were the Olympic rings, and we looked it up, and it was a training facility during those Olympics. They didn't do any events there, but that's where athletes for certain sports would work out, train, and get treatment and things like that. So that was very cool. Yeah. All right. So anything else before we wrap up? If you have to think too hard, it's probably a no. But anything else?
All I can say is if you have not been, and start saving, because it's incredible. And I know that we've heard I'm sure, there were I heard so many things that stressed me out about this trip. And we were cautious, we were careful, we took the number of people that were watch for pickpockets, watch for this, watch for this. We we were careful.
Just be vigilant. Yeah.
And
my mother told me to always have my purse on my front.
Yeah, and she did. She was very good about that.
Like, if it wasn't on my belly, it was like here.
Yeah. You always had good care of
so
your
basically, like, you hear different things, but experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done it, just do it.
Yes, Megan.
Also, eat baguettes for breakfast. They're so yummy.
Yes.
Honestly, the food in general was so good. And I mean, this entire trip in all phases, really the food kind of ruined food for me.
I think I've adjusted back to our American breakfast, but
I still want baguettes for breakfast.
But the other day, we just said, I'm like, I don't like this breakfast.
I don't want a bagel.
But I also don't have a spot to just go walk around the corner and get a fresh made an hour ago
baguette
Yes.
or croissant or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Megan pointed out something about the pasta. Megan ate a lot of pasta on this trip, too.
pretty much every day.
So
Oh yeah, every meal comes with baguette slices.
In Paris? Yes.
In Paris.
We had
Like I got a piece of baguette. It looked like I took one piece of baguette, put it on my pasta, took a picture of it. It looked like there was baguette buried under my pasta. And only one part was sticking out.
But what did you think about the pasta?
It was a lot better. At the cafe that we went to with the giant teddy bear, that was the one I was taking pictures of.
Yeah.
The menu.
Well, and I found this out kind of during the trip, but apparently, it's actually one of those things. The French do not waste sauce, and Megan did a good job of using those baguette pieces to soak up the sauce and make sure that they were eating the sauce off the plate. So, yes.
I like pasta a lot.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And,
better.
What about you like it a lot better
In Paris.
in Paris
And
than where?
I'm still talking about the cafe.
Right, but why do you like the pasta better?
Well, I just like it better. It's hard to explain, but I like it a lot.
Well, given
better.
It's
They told
better
us
than
it's-
what? Better than what pasta? Where else have you had pasta?
Here.
So it's better than American pasta?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
I know.
trying to get at.
I know. It was just taking a really long
Yeah, I'm
time.
pulling it out of her.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up.
No,
Yes.
I didn't.
Okay,
finish
go ahead.
talking
Go ahead.
about-
Finish last thing, and then we got to go. And everybody who's listening probably has to go too.
So.
Time's up.
Make
No,
it quick.
isn't.
It's almost.
Okay, so. Okay, I forget, but it's something to do with the chef is Italian. So
that's
he
right.
made
Yes.
he made the pasta a lot better, and it's so yummy, and it's a lot better. Apparently, pasta is a lot better Italian and Parisian.
So yes, the
At one particular cafe that we were at, we shared with the waiter what she said, and he said, "Well, our head chef is directly from Italy, and everything is fresh made." So.
yeah, you'll find that a lot too. So it was really great, and best thing that I ate a lot of great food, but they consider it like a snack. Like on their menus, it's a snack, but it was a full meal.
Oh, yeah.
It was the croque monsieur. It was so good. So
What's croque monsieur?
it's the sandwich that I had.
At least twice.
At least twice, yeah. But anyway, so we will wrap this one up, and next episode will be all about Disneyland Paris.
And then the one after that will be Ireland, and then maybe the one after that will be Ireland.
We'll have to see how we do it, because this one was an hour, so we spent a full week in Ireland, so we may have to break that one up.
I know. That's why I said.
All right, let's say goodbye to these people so that they can get back to what they need to do.
Okay,
All right.
so can I just finish what I was saying real quick?
Last thing, and then we're saying goodbye.
Okay, that's why I said, and then the next one will be Disneyland Paris, then the next one will be Ireland, and maybe the next one after that will be Ireland.
Okay.
Isn't that what we just said?
Yes,
No, I said that before you.
All right, we're coming. The wheels are coming off, so we're gonna say goodnight. So, Mommy.
I'll
Au revoir.
Megan.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Well, thank you for joining me on this episode, and thank you to Eileen and Megan for sharing some of the great experiences that we had in Paris. And really, there's a lot more to come. So hope you stick around for our next episode next week, which will be about Disneyland Paris. And then we will hop over to Ireland for a bit more, which, as we said in the episode, may be broken up into 2 separate episodes. So in the meantime, I appreciate all of the support that you have given. If you want to support a little bit more, the best way is to tell people about this podcast. Word of mouth is the best way to let people know about new podcasts that they may be interested in. And if you want to not verbally tell people, but tell the masses, leave a rating or a review on your favorite podcatcher, and those help bump up our visibility on those platforms. Now, you can find this and more information about me on social media. We have the Muse in Place, which is our Facebook community. We also have the regular Facebook page, the Mazas Musings Podcast. We are on X, Instagram, and Threads at Mazas Musings Pod. There's the TikTok at Mazas Musings Podcast. We are on Blue Sky, and there is the YouTube page that we'd love it if you'd subscribe to. Along with all that, you can find more information about me in this podcast and past episodes at mazasmusings.wordpress.com. That's our website. You can also find out how to sign up for our newsletter, which I'm hoping to get up and running again, hopefully sometime this fall. So get on the list and I'll start sending it out, and you'll get all kinds of cool updates about this podcast and other things that I find interesting. And while you're there, you can also find out how to buy a blue milk. And buying us a blue milk is a small, obligation-free way to help with some of the small monetary costs that go into this podcast. And whether you are listening for the first time, buying us a blue milk, or anything in between, I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. Au revoir. For the Mazas Musings podcast is brought to you by Hi Dad Soup. Check them out at Mickey and Minutes on Instagram.